Mhm.
So I have that recording,
Mhm.
but if you want to check on it once in a while,
Mhm.
then I'm going like 15 minutes. That's what he wants, but just
I can stand by it. Okay.
yeah. What's up, y'all? How we doing? All right. Who knows who Denzel Washington is? Like Training Day, you know, all those movies that he has, his actor. He has this great quote that I love. And he says, commitment will get you started, but consistency will allow you to finish. And I love that quote because when we think about commitment, sometimes we think about doing things that we don't want to do, right? Will you be committed to the goal without being emotionally attached to the results of it? Commitment, will you be committed to what you said you're going to do long after the mood you set in has left? It's easy to be committed and excited for something at the beginning of something, right? You have a new school you're starting. You're excited. 1 week passes. I'm like, all right, I don't want to go to class anymore. Sports start. Excited. All of a sudden, 2 weeks in, you're not hitting your goals. You're not getting the results that you want. And then all of a sudden, your commitment level just drops. Who's been there? Right? Who's been there? Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard because one thing about commitment is it's going to go on to produce something greater in your life. That's one principle that I live by in my life. Stay committed. I might not have all the answers right now. I might not know what to do with the exact thing that I want to accomplish at the moment, but commit to it and figure it out along the way. That's life. Commit to what you said you're going to do and then figure it out along the way. That's how things get figured out. That's how you get better. That's how you have to approach every day. You're not going to have all the answers. You're never going to have all the answers in life. But if you're committed, eventually you'll figure out a few more answers and a few more ways of how to do things. But pick up on it. You have to be consistent with it. Maintaining the consistent actions. Being disciplined. Who knows what discipline means? What's discipline mean? You have a good definition? All right. Being disciplined. Realizing that discipline is doing what you said you're going to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Right? Doing what you said you're going to do, even though you don't feel like doing it. When you think of commitment, there's so many things that go with commitment: consistency, discipline, integrity, character, how you show up, intentionality. So many things go on with commitment. But you have to ask yourself this question: what am I committed to? And why am I committed to it? Is my commitment level going to be based off of the results? Or is my commitment level going to be based off of the process? Catch that. Is it going to be based off of the results? Or is it going to be based off of the process? What I mean by process, understanding that every day you can get better. Every day there's something there for you to improve on. Every day, you can give your best, even though you might not feel your best. Sometimes in life, you're going to be less than your best, and that's okay. Because this thing called life, this game that we're all playing right now, it's a process. Trust me, it's a process. You're going to have to go through the hardships. You're going to have to go through the obstacles. You're going to have to go through the times where you get betrayed. You're going to have to go through the times where you get disappointed. You're going to have to go through the times where you fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, and then you succeed. You're going to have to go through so many different things, guys, and it's a process. That's why I say, is your commitment level based upon the results? Because if it's based upon the results, you're not going to have a fulfilling life. You can't just go for something for the results. I love this quote by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's my GOAT, Hooper. Rest in peace, Mamba. But he says, whether you win or whether you lose, you're still going to have to wake up the next day and do it all over again. Whether you win or whether you lose, you're still going to have to wake up the next day and do it all over again. It's not just a one-day championship. It's not just a one-day PR. It's not just a one-day team section championship. It's not just you get an A on the test. It's a process to it. You studying, you training, you working hard each day that you get, each opportunity that you get. There's a process to everything. So erase the results. The results don't really matter. But if you become a better version of yourself each day, if you stay committed to yourself each day, that's what matters. That's how you win this game of life. That's how you win in your sport. That's how you win in your class. That's how you win in your relationships and your friendships with one another. That's how you win. Just understand everything is a process. But you have to be consistent with that process. You have to be disciplined with that process. You have to understand, what is that process going to do for you? What can it do for you? Right? What can your process do for you? Your process can teach you a lot. How to overcome adversity. Who runs the 400? What's your favorite part about the 400? What's up?
I think it's like seeing how well I become at it.
How well you become at it?
Yeah.
That's what's up. What's your favorite part about the 400?
Finishing.
Finishing. Who else runs the 400? What's your favorite part?
Done.
Being done? All right, what's your least favorite part?
The last 100.
The last 100?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite part?
Part like right before the race.
Right. Hey, that's facts. That's facts. The 400, the part right before the race. I hate the part before the race because you're like, all right, I know this is gonna suck. This is gonna be painful when I get done, unlike any other race besides the 800 or like the mile 3 hurdles. But there's a process to the 400, right? And it's a process of, if you start out slow, that sets the tone for the race. But if you start out quick and fast and explode out, that sets the tone for the race. Because it's a lot harder to get going and find your groove if you start out slow. But if you start out fast, it's a lot harder to slow down. Right? You might feel tired. You might get fatigued. Actually, you will get fatigued. Your legs will feel heavy. But the process of starting fast instead of starting slow. In this life that we have, if you continue to build momentum each day, if you continue to keep on giving your best each day, if you can continue driving your arms back and not giving up and not quitting and propelling forward each day, I promise you, you will see that finish line and you will conquer that finish line. You won't just stumble across that finish line. You will blast right through that finish line because you started out fast and you let the fatigue get to you. You let the times where you were tired get to you. You let the adversity, the hills, the battles you have to come. And you maintained it with a resilient mindset without quitting. But if you start slow and you just go, and you're lazy with it, you're lethargic with it, you're not giving your best effort with it, I promise you see one uphill, you're going to want to quit, and you will quit. Why? Because you didn't train the process. You didn't train what you needed to train on. You weren't disciplined through it. But when that last 100 comes, you realize, hey, I've been here before. This is what I trained for, right? This is what I trained for. This is what I did the repeats for, the speed endurance for. This is what I put my heart into and effort into. I didn't just show up and be lazy with it. I showed up and it was intentional with how I trained, was intentional with how I did things, was intentional with how I put in my best effort. Your commitment needs to come from you. It can't come from anyone else. You have coaches here wanting to improve your running efforts, trying to improve your times, but they can only do so much. You have teachers who try to help you in school. They can only do so much. You have your parents, the ones who love you, but they can only do so much for you guys. What matters is what each of us have. And that's this. That's heart. That's heart. And the last time I checked, the only person who can take that heart away from you is yourself. No one else but you. And if you're committed to yourself, if you have the right heart for yourself, if you have the right heart for your future, with the consistent actions, with the disciplined actions and decisions that you make, I promise you, it doesn't matter what's in your way. That committed heart, no one can stop. No one can stop. I have a couple minutes left. I want to leave you with this story. Who's ever watched, what's that movie? I forgot the movie. But this movie comes to you by Brock, right? And he's about to go do the death crawl. Who knows what the death crawl is? A football movie, right? And so this death crawl comes. This coach says, hey, Brock, I want you to do the death crawl all the way to the 40-yard line, all right? And the death crawl is he's on his hands and knees, right? And someone gets on his back, and he gets blindfolded. And this coach says, hey, I want you to give me your very best. Will you give me your very best? He says, yeah, I'll give you my very best. He's like, I want you to give me my very best. He's like, all right, I'll give you my very best. So Brock gets down. He's starting off good. 10 yards, good. 20 yards, good. 30 yards, good. 40 yards. He takes a breather. Coach says, don't give up on me, Brock. Don't give up on me. He's like, I'm not. I'm just taking a break. Keep on going, Brock. He said, you give me your very best, Brock. 50 yards, 60 yards, 70 yards. Brock goes, it hurts. It's pain. It burns. And it's going to hurt. But you have to let it hurt. You have to be consistent. You have to show up with intentionality. You have to be committed to yourself in the future that you want for yourself. And Brock keeps on going. 80 yards, 90 yards, 10 more steps, Brock, 10 more steps. Give me your very best. Don't quit on me, Brock. Don't quit on me. Brock takes the last 10 steps. Coach says, look up, Brock. You're in the end zone. Brock said he thought he could do 40 yards, but he did that in 100 yards. Be committed to yourself. I promise you, you can go a lot farther than you think you could go, as long as you maintain that heart. Your heart's powerful, guys. The heart's powerful. And I want you to make sure that when you have that heart, you give your very best to yourself, to what you want to accomplish. All right? Appreciate you guys.